Well, hello everyone, and welcome back to my Savage Homestead. I'm Doris. Today it's a very rainy day outside, so I decided today that I was going to do 3 loaf breads. So let's go ahead and get started on the lime loaf cake, the Margarita lime. You're going to need a loaf pan, you're going to need a bowl, and you're going to need a hand mixer. And then if you've got a juicer, that's great. You can juice your own juice, or you can grate your own zest, because you're going to need lime juice and lime zest for this. So let's go ahead and start putting all this together. It's really simple, really quick, and it's about 10 minutes to prepare, and then it's 50 minutes in the oven. So first of all, you're going to use a half a cup of butter. You're going to need 1 cup of sugar. And you're going to blend it. You're going to add in 2 eggs. And blend that together. We're going to add in half a cup of milk, 1/8 a cup of Margarita mix, this stuff here. Going to blend that together. We're going to put zest of 1 lime in here. We're going to go ahead and get the lime. We need 2 tablespoons of lime juice. And you're just going to blend that together. So you're going to have 1½ cups flour. You're going to have 1 teaspoon of baking soda. And you're going to need 1/8 of a teaspoon of salt. Just going to mix that together. We're going to add this to the liquid mixture. Okay, so we're going to spray the loaf pan. We're going to pour in our cake mix. We're going to pop this in the oven at 350 for 50 to 60 minutes, or until your knife comes out clean. Next one up is an Alabama pecan loaf. I don't remember where I got this one from. I've had it in my recipes, I want to say, for maybe 15 years, 20 years. I have about 12 different recipes for different flavors of loaf breads. So let's get started on this one. Okay, first of all, you're going to need 1/2 cup of melted butter. You're going to need 1 cup of white sugar. Going to need a half a cup of brown sugar. You're going to need 2 eggs. And these came out of my hen house this morning, so these are about as fresh as you're going to get. And then we're just going to use our hand mixer and we're going to blend it up. So now you're going to pour in 1 cup of buttermilk. And you can do 1 teaspoon of vanilla. And you're going to blend that up. Okay, so now with your dry ingredients, you're going to do 1.5 cups of flour. You're going to do a half a teaspoon of baking soda and 1 teaspoon of baking powder and 1/4 a teaspoon of salt. And you're going to blend that up. Okay, and then you're going to put your dry ingredients in with your wet. And then you're going to do 1 cup of chopped pecans. And you're going to go ahead and fold in your pecans. And you're going to do the same thing. You're going to grease your pan. And then you're just going to fold your dough into the pan. And the same thing. You can put it in the oven at 350 degrees for 50 to 60 minutes or until your knife comes out clean. Okay, we're going to need 6 tablespoons of soft butter. You're going to need 3/4 cup of sugar. And you're going to blend this together. You're going to need 2 eggs. You're going to need 1 teaspoon of vanilla. You're just going to blend that together. Okay, so you're going to need 1 orange, and you can need the zest of this orange, and then you're going to try to get at least 1/4 a cup of orange juice out of this. So let's go ahead and zest this. And when you zest, all of you cooks that have done this before, you don't get down to the white part. That's bitter. So you just lightly go over the orange. And make sure you wash your orange before you do that. But you do not want the white, the rind of the orange in there, because it will be bitter. We're going to do the same thing we did before with the lime. We're going to cut the orange and we're just going to juice it. And hopefully I'll get 1/4 a cup of fresh orange juice out of this. Looks like I got a fourth a cup. Okay, we're good. Now you're going to add your orange juice to your sugar and egg mix. Then you're going to do a fourth a cup of milk. And you're going to blend that together. Okay, so now you're going to need 1.5 cups of flour. You're going to need 1 teaspoon of baking soda and a 1/4 teaspoon of salt. And again, you're just going to mix this together. And then this goes into your liquid mixture, and you're going to slowly blend that in. You're going to take 1.5 cups of fresh cranberries. You're going to make sure that they're rinsed very well and none of them are squishy. See, that's how squishy that is. I don't want that. Now I'm going to go ahead and dust these with flour. And then we're going to go ahead and put them in the batter. I'm going to go ahead and just put these in and gently just fold them in. And the same thing, I'm just going to put a pan, loaf pan, and I'm just going to fold it into the loaf pan. Okay, and there you go. There's your third bread, your cranberry bread loaf. Well, again, we're going to put it in the oven at 350 for 50 to 60 minutes or until your knife comes out clean. And there you are. You've done 3 breads in an hour's time, and it's going to take about 15 minutes to cook them all. So 3 breads in 2 hours. It's pretty good. Okay. All of our breads are out of the oven. You got your Margarita lime, you've got your Alabama pecan, and you got your cranberry bread. So now we're going to put the icings on each one of them. So first we're going to start with the Margarita lime. You're going to need 1 cup of powdered sugar. You're going to need right at a teaspoon of tequila. It's up to you which one you want. I have Patron. And then we're going to do a lime juice in here. Give it some lime juice. That should be about 1 tablespoon. And we're going to mix that up in there. And then we're going to go ahead and do the other half of the lime. And stir that in. Now you have your icing. So We're going to go ahead and ice the first cake loaf. So we're going to do the key lime, Margarita, and then we're going to take the lime that we had and we're going to put some zest on it. Okay, the second one we're going to do is the pecan cake, Alabama pecan, and we're going to put 2 tablespoons of maple syrup in there. Same thing, I'm going to mix it up. Just a touch of milk. Okay, so now this is our Alabama pecan. And we're going to put our maple icing on top. Okay, we're going to finish off the cranberry. You're going to need an orange, 3/4 cup of powdered sugar. You're going to cut your orange in half, and you're going to put the juice in the powdered sugar. Now we're going to go ahead and zest the orange. And here we go with the cranberry. Just going to pour this on top. And there we have it, guys. You have 3 different loaves. It took an hour and 50 minutes to do all 3. You have your lime margarita loaf bread. You have your Alabama pecan bread with maple icing on top. And then you have your cranberry orange loaf bread. And that has an orange glaze on top of that. Very quick, very easy to make. I hope you enjoyed this video. Y'all have a good evening. Thank you.